we're going to take a look at how to construct a rectangle, and all we're allowed to use is a compass, a pencil, and the other important thing is our straight edge. This is a ruler, but any straight edge will do because we're not actually going to measure anything. Okay, so first thing to do is to start with a line. So I'm going to draw a line segment, make it relatively long, make my job easier as I continue with my constructions. So that'll be my line. I think I'll put a little mark here and another one here, and it doesn't matter how far apart they are because we're not making a rectangle to measure, but these are, you can see, reasonable distance apart. So I set my compass to a radius that I'm happy with, so it'll make a circle about, I don't know, that big on my A4 paper. That's enough. Once I've set it, don't change it. So I put the point right on that intersection I made and draw a circle. So draw a nice circle and do the same. Don't change anything. Do the same with the other intersection I created. Again, don't change anything. Draw a nice circle. Okay. Now we have two circles. So next step is that we want to create perpendicular bisectors at each of these points. So you can change this now, you can change the setting. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to set it as I've set it. It's a little bit longer than the radius. And I start here, right? Start at that middle of the circle, inscribe an arc, inscribe an arc. And I use these two arcs to construct some perpendicular bisectors later. I'll do the same over here, inscribe an arc and inscribe an arc. Okay, I'm going to use these arcs to create some arcs for a perpendicular bisector. So I'll change this again. Doesn't matter how much, just make it a decent amount. I just want it to be beyond these circles, and it's quite a bit beyond. That's okay. Draw an arc down here as well. Draw an arc. Match up with this one. Remember, don't get confused. This arc here, it belongs to this circle. This arc here belongs to the circle. Okay, there you go. Just intersect with those arcs I've just drawn. Okay, and that becomes a perfect perpendicular bisector to the original line segment. So I'll just draw that in. Just keep your constructions a little bit light. I'm using a 2B pencil, so they're a little bit dark. Okay, I haven't changed that. It doesn't matter if you've changed it or not, to be honest, but just draw your arc here, draw your arc here, and draw arcs intersecting those, there and there. Okay, so draw the perpendicular bisector to this part of the line segment. So again, take your time, line it all up. Okay. So now I'm just about there. I can now create a rectangle which has this as the end of any sort of width if I like. I could go from here, this point, to this point, to this point, to this point, and that would create a nice rectangle as well. So I could draw that. I'll just show you what that looks like, where the circle intersects the perpendicular bisectors. That makes a nice rectangle. So it could be there. Okay, there. So yeah, that's quite a nice rectangle. I could use my compass and create a smaller rectangle, just set it to a small radius and just intersect here. Don't change it, intersect here. Okay, and then here, and then here. Right, and then I could join these guys together to make a nice rectangle. 1, 2, so that would be a different rectangle, right? And if I wanted to, I could make it a bit more of a wider rectangle by setting it at a bit wider. And I could make a different kind of rectangle altogether. So it really does depend on you. Once you have the construction made, you can have a bit of fun with drawing the final rectangle. All done.